I just picked up this BMW 328i for 1700 and it's not pretty. The engine doesn't run, the paint is rough, a bunch of things don't work as they should, and honestly it looks kinda sad right now. But that's exactly why I bought it. I like finding cars like this because even though they look tired, there's still a lot of life left in them, if you're willing to put in the work. Over the next little while, I'm going to bring this car back to life, and I will give it a completely new identity. It's not going to happen overnight. In fact, it took me about 20 days to finish, but by the end of this video, this car should look nothing like what you're seeing now. As you probably know by now, the very first thing I like to do is plug in the diagnostic tool and see what this car is complaining about. Now, as you can see, there is a ton of errors, but there is nothing to worry about. This car had no battery at all, so it's only normal that all of these errors show up. So we just need to clear them really quick and see what sticks. Okay, there's nothing to worry about here. Let's move to the next test, which is endoscope into the cylinders and see if the pistons and valves are in good shape. Now I'm happy to see that the cylinder walls look really good. They still have some cross hatching from factory, which is very good. The pistons, they are a little bit covered in carbon, but nothing to be concerned about. And the valves are untouched. And I've been told that the timing chain is the issue, so I was a little bit concerned that the valves might be bent, but in this case they look absolutely fine. None of them were touched by the piston, so we are good to continue. And the same goes for the other pistons as well. Everything looks good, so now we can go ahead and remove the valve cover so we can actually inspect the timing. This is pretty much a straightforward job. You just need to pay attention to the vacuum pump that's at the back of the engine, and it has some difficult to reach bolts in order to remove. But other than that, everything just unplugs and unbolts just as easily as you can see in this video. Now with the valve cover removed, you can see clearly that the guides are broken. There is a piece sitting right here. And I'm also happy to see that the camshafts are in really good condition, so we can safely continue with replacing the timing. There's definitely some varnish on all of the internal parts, but nothing major. This is normal for a 160,000 miles engine. So let's just spin the engine a little bit and see by how much the timing has skipped. As you can see, the exhaust camshaft is the right way up, but when you look at the intake camshaft is a different story. The flat portion is facing up. It should have been on the side so that the tool can slide on. So this definitely confirms that the timing has skipped and it's only normal for the engine to not run. And since we now know the cause of the engine not running, it's safe to continue with the disassembly. I've already ordered a new timing chain kit because it's basically what goes wrong on these engines, so I wanted to be prepared. Let's just remove everything, and then we have to go under the car and remove the oil pan so we can inspect the pickup tube as well. Now, since this car is an X-Drive, it has a front differential that goes through the oil pan. Yes, it goes through the oil pan. I know. And in order to remove the oil pan, you have to start taking off the wheels and remove the lower control arms, and then you can remove the front axles, and after that you can disconnect the drive shaft that brings the power from the gearbox to the front differential, and after that you can remove the differential. But this is not a job that should be done on the floor like I'm doing it here. This should be done on a lift where the subframe can be removed and everything is way easier. But since I don't have a lift, I had to find a way. It was a little bit more difficult, but I got it done. So the oil pan is finally out. Now let's see what's inside. Yes, these are parts from the timing chain guide that broke off and dropped into the oil pan. But that's okay. Let me show you the condition of the pickup tube. Now, this is not something you can leave as is because the engine is gonna get starved and you're gonna have a seized engine pretty soon. So every time you have problems with the timing chain, you must drop the oil pan and clean the pickup tube. Now the best way to clean this is to remove it and spray it with a lot of brake cleaner. Just make sure there is nothing stuck inside of it, and then you can change the gasket on the end of it and just put it back in place. This is what's left of the timing chain guides, and I'm not surprised they failed because look at the color of this plastic. It definitely is dark and it became brittle. After 160,000 miles, it's only normal for this plastic to fail. So it just needs to be replaced. Since the oil pan is removed, it only makes sense to clean it very well before reinstalling. Now we also have the new timing chain and guides installed. We just need to tighten a few bolts and we should be able to time the engine right and then put it all back together. If you want to take on one of these jobs at home, you must buy one of these timing tools because without it you would never be able to put the timing right. You might be able to get it close, but it will give you so much trouble that it doesn't even worth not buying the tool. And it's not that expensive, it's like $100 on Amazon, and it doesn't need to be original BMW tool. It can be an Amazon replica, which is what I have right here. Okay, this is what we have now. New timing chain, new guides, it's all been set, and the camshafts are aligned. The sprockets here, they get measured by the camshaft sensor, and that's how you time those with this tool, and it should be all good. The bolts were tightened back in place. Okay, now let's put it back together. After the timing is set, it's a good idea to remove the timing tool and spin the engine a few times and then try to fit the timing tool again and see if everything still lines up. If it does, you're good. Continue reassembling the engine. Now, of course, we need to change the oil filter and the O-rings around the cap. Now, what I like to do is use a little bit of old oil and lubricate the new O-rings when I'm installing them on the cap. This way they slide on quite easily. I always like to cut the filter open to see better what has been filtering. So if there is metal particles, depending on the color, you kind of get an idea of what could be wrong inside of the engine. And in this case, we have no metal particles, so we are safe to continue. Now that everything is back together, it's a really good idea to scan the ECU again and clear all the fault codes. because a lot of parts have been disconnected. There will be fault codes for sure. Clear all of it and then let's see if this thing will run. You're ready? It's okay. There is no gas in the fuel lines. I don't know. It has no muffler, so it's loud, but it runs. Okay, the engine is running. It's time for a test drive, and as you can probably hear, the exhaust pipe is hitting a little bit, but that's okay. We need to see if the car drives okay, and if there is enough power or if there is another fault code showing up on the ECU. So let's see. Okay, so the test drive went very well. Now it's time to tackle the exterior and interior. There are some visual issues with this car, I would say, and we just need to fix everything up. Now I would like to start with the front bumper because it's been plastic dipped a long time ago and it looks in bad condition right now. So we have to remove all of this plastic dip, and I was lucky because whoever did this before did it on top of paint protection film, and this way I was able to peel the paint protection film with the plastic dip together. Even though the paint protection film was old and brittle, I think it was way easier than without that. And I've tried some chemicals, nothing would work, and slowly I peeled it off by hand. With all of that paint protection film removed, now you can see that the bumper is in good shape. Even the paint was actually protected, so it does work. It is hard work to remove and replace, but I think it's worth it. And I also have to remove the paint protection from the bonnet and the front fenders because it's old and it looks really bad. As you can see, there is some glue residue on the paint, but that should be easily removed. Now, in order to remove the paint protection film easier, you have to pull towards you, not against the film, because it will leave less glue on the paint. As you can see, it's all removed now. It did make a mess, but it was something that had to be done. These things come off easily and it leaves behind a double-sided tape, and we can use paint thinner to remove that as well. With all of that residue cleaned, now it's time to remove the door handles because I'm going to wrap the entire car. So it's best to get rid of the things that will slow your progress, and to remove the handles is not that big of a deal, and you can easily wrap the door without worrying too much. So they need to come off, and then we can prep for the wrapping. I've also removed the front grills and the badge. The door handles are around, and under the handles the PPF that was protecting the paint, that was all cleaned, and all the badges from the trunk lid. I've also cleaned all the edges really well to make sure the film is gonna stick. This is the color that we're gonna wrap it in, and I'm not gonna try to tell you how to do this job because this is only my second time ever doing a full wrap. I've done it only once on a Mini Cooper, so I'll kind of speed up through the process. You kind of get the idea, and if you need instructions on how to wrap a car, there are a ton of videos out there, and you just need to try a few panels, and once you feel confident enough, you can just go with the full wrap. Keep in mind that the whole process for me took about 5 days just to wrap the body, and that's because I'm not experienced. I'm sure that an experienced wrapper would do this way faster, probably like 2 days or something like that. But I'm happy with the way this goes, and it's a lovely process. When you see the results, it's amazing. You feel so good after you've done a panel. I think it's a little bit addictive how good it feels once a panel is wrapped and it turns out well. So I think you should try and do this yourself at home. If you have a garage, you can definitely do this. It's not that difficult. The wrap is so good nowadays, it doesn't even need too much effort. You must learn a few tricks, but I think anybody can do this. The window trim needs to be wrapped in black as well, and this is how it looks wrapped in black. In my opinion, it seals the deal. And of course we had to do something about the wheels. Nothing complicated, just some scuffing pads and new paint on top. The interior trim bits needed the same treatment, and I think they turned out really well. This was very satisfying, peeling off that clear plastic to see the actual colors and everything ties together. I just love the way it turned out. I'm really happy. The roof didn't need to be wrapped because the car is black. It just needs to be polished to get rid of all the marks and make the paint shine as good as it can. I'm just using a regular pad with Meguiar's 2-stage polish. And there you go. It all shines like new, and I didn't even need to go too much on it. I'm happy with the result. And now we need to focus on the interior a little bit. It's not very dirty, but I still want to clean it, and I want to make it as good as it can be at this point. With a little bit of foam cleaner and a hoover, it's all that little bit better now. I think this car is now transformed, even though I didn't go crazy with M Sport bumpers or new wheels or anything like that. I think it turned out really good. And this was done on a really low budget, trying to keep it as inexpensive as possible, but still do something good for the car. And I want the next owner to enjoy the car for what it is. And I think this was successful. At this point I was so excited with the results that I had to share the photos with the previous owner, and they decided they want to buy it back. So as I'm editing the video right now, they are on their way to come pick the car back from me. And I'm gonna give them a good deal, and I hope that this is the way I can give back to the BMW community. But I can't just give the car back until I take my girlfriend for a drive. Are you ready?
I kind of like it. It sounds angry. Hi, baby. Will you turn to the side a little bit? Let her rear have some space, for heaven's sake. Hi, baby. I'll see you later. Get you some cat food, okay, big man?
Cat food for a bird?
He loves it. I want to hear it.
Yeah, I'll do it.
I want to know what it sounds like. Speed bumps. We're going over it real fast.
The exhaust isn't that.
No,
loud.
it actually sounds just pretty cool. That's a nice. It looks so good. It sounds more spicy.
The drive test, because we didn't drive.
That's true.
I mean, I drove it a little bit after the timing chain was done, but it's also about the engine, because this was not running, right?
Yeah.
Now it's also looking good, but we forget where it started. It was completely dead.
This is my first time in this car driving. Isn't it? I
Yeah.
think it is.
Yeah, you've never been in it.
This is the place for photos.
But it's sunny, baby. I don't think it's gonna look good. And the sun.
Why wouldn't it look good in the sun?
And she was right. It looks very good in the sun. I'm really happy with the result. And I'm sure the previous owner, also the new owner, is gonna be very happy with the car as it is right now. And I wanna ask you guys, if you like this type of content, I'm doing my best to do as much as possible, and it takes a little bit of time and money to be able to do this, and I would love to be doing this for the people that love these cars and not charge them as much. But if you want to support this cause, you can by becoming a YouTube member. This way we can do some good together, and people are gonna get their cars transformed, and hopefully everybody is happy. So that's all for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Please consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant, I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it